In a free flow. Alright, my video ended, but now it started again. But anyways, what I was saying, my floor is gonna free flow all through here, all into these closets. Now this is gonna be a problem right here, because as you can see, there's no trim on this closet door. I mean, it's not gonna be a problem, but there's no trim on this closet door. The baseboard ends there, the baseboard ends here. So I have to make sure, and look at the damage. Look at the damage to the wall down there. But what I'll do is I'll put my flooring in first, because it's only joint compound, guys. It'll wash right off the floor if you get a little bit on the floor. I'm going to have to fix that after with some joint compound. And then I'll just have to put some caulking in there. And there's okay, you know, this baseboard is okay in here. It's just pine 2-inch, 1x2, or 1/2 inch by 2 pine board around there. So I could probably pop that off and reuse it. But the guy wants all of this baseboard. This is all the same thing that I showed you guys. That's this stuff right here. This cheap. And this is like a, whatever, 1/2 inch here. Yeah, it's about a 1/2 inch here. This is 1/2 inch thick. Door casing, colonial casing. But it's foam. Look at that. Foam. I mean, this stuff costs 25 cents a foot, if that. This is the cheapest stuff ever. But I'm going to put this here for a minute. So now you can see, you can basically get an idea. When I put my baseboard on here, it's all going to cover. So that's what you do when you're laying your tile too, is just take a piece of old trim or something like that, and where your walls are uneven, like this is the worst spot here, but as you can see, when I have my baseboard in there, all that's going to get covered. I'm actually going to probably fill that gap right there. I'm going to caulk all in there. I'm going to put a bunch of silicone caulk in there, make it smooth first. And then, like I said, I'll have silicone caulk under the bottom of my baseboard, whatever I put in here. And then I'll push it down, and that'll be a watertight seal all the way under the board. So no water will ever get back down there or down inside of the tub. I might even put a piece of trim there and do the same thing. I might have them just trim this all the way around. But here, you got to use like PL glue or something and glue your piece of trim to there. Use some PL glue, that trim will be there forever. And it'll look good if you consistently go all around. And now you have an extra, you got more security if you have caulk under your trim and behind your trim. That's all going to be watertight too. So now if water comes, like I was explaining in my last video, if water comes down through here, guess what? It might make a puddle right here, but it's not going to go all behind your wall, under your floor, all behind the tub, under your new tile floor, and it's not going to destroy anything, because you're going to have all silicone. You know what I mean? I'm going to put some good silicone waterproof caulking all on that. And that's going to seal all that up watertight. And then this is not going to be wood trim in here. Okay? This is, none of this in this bathroom is going to be wooden trim. That's going to get wet or, you know, absorb moisture, anything. Even if you paint your trim, usually when people buy wood trim for a bathroom anyway, I paint the whole trim. I paint the front, the back, everything a couple of coats. Then I do what I say with the silicone on the back, of the little bit of silicone on the back top of the trim, and a little silicone on the bottom of the trim. So when I push it in there, it's all watertight. So if anything leaks, it doesn't damage. Even, you know, 10, 15 years down the line of leaking. I've been in houses that I did 10, 15 years ago, and I did it that way. And guess what? All their stuff, even though they got leaks, they had leaks in there, all their trim and everything, their floors never rotted, their walls never rotted, none of that stuff. All it takes is a $6 tube of friggin', All it takes is a $6 tube. Something like this. I don't even know if this is silicone. I think this is latex. This one here. See, and this is stuff you want right here for like bathrooms. Superior flexibility and crack proof. This is actually exterior, so this will stand up. Doors and windows and siding. This will actually stand up way better than kitchen and bath caulk, believe it or not. Even though it's exterior, it's got a longer. Yep, this is silicone. You can see it says right here. If my phone focuses, let me put that there. I don't know why this phone don't autofocus. This is like the worst freaking camera phone. Hold on, let me try cleaning my lens off here. Let's see if we get something now. Whatever, it's not gonna work. But, and here's what I'm gonna put. You see this? PL glue. 3 times stronger, premium construction adhesive. So this is what I'm gonna use when I go to glue my, when I put my piece of trim board along this tub. Because that's really, I mean, you could put grout in there and, you know, silicone over the grout or whatever. But the water eventually is gonna, you know, the water eventually is gonna work its way down in there. Even if you seal the grout or whatever. If your tenants are not putting a shower curtain in the thing, and they're overflowing the toilets, and they're got leaks everywhere, guess what? All that for nothing if you don't do it right. Especially if you own a property, you're a landlord. Take this extra steps that I'm showing in this video, because that's gonna save you doing this all over again. You hire somebody cheap and they don't do it good. Guess what? You're gonna do this. You're gonna be ripping all of this out. What you paid for 5 years down the line, it's all gonna have to come out, and you're gonna have to do it all over again. If the toilet ends up how it ended up, so you'll see when this is done. This is all gonna be watertight. You'll be able to dump buckets of water on this floor, and it won't damage it, and it won't, you know what I mean? So if you do have a leak and you do it like I'm showing in this video, if anything, you got careless tenants or whatever, this is gonna last, I'm telling you, 15, at least 10 years, how I'm gonna do this. 10 years, but I would say 15, 20, like I said. I've done stuff like this. This wasn't even that bad. I've done 100 times worse than this 15 years ago. And I still work for those people. And their apartments that I worked in are still how I left the tile floors. And still how I left the baseboard and did the pieces of trim around the front of the tub and all that. It's still there. And it's not rotting away. You know, and those people, landlord that I know, that I worked for years, he's had tons of tenants since 15 years ago, since I've did his bathroom like I'm doing this one. And it all still looks good. All you got to do, I mean, when the people move out, I go in there, he has me paint everything over again, you know, put more paint on the wall, paint the trim again, clean up the floor, clean up the tile floors, and they still look really nice. What I did years ago, still looks the same today. So I've been doing this stuff, like I said, I've been doing this stuff for like, I'm 45. I've been doing this stuff since I've been painting since I was 16. 14. I think I was like 14 when I started painting, because I used to paint my own house, my house, my bedrooms and stuff like that when I was a kid. My mother used to buy the paint when I was 14 years old. I want to change the color of my room. My mother would buy the paint, and I would paint my whole room. So I started young. I did it all myself. Then my mother had me painting everything in the house and putting up wallpaper and all that stuff. So I've been doing that since I was a kid and working on cars since I was a kid, doing all kinds of stuff like this. All kinds of stuff. I really started doing a lot of flooring when I was 2021. 2021, I worked for a big flooring company that did everything. Tiles, hardwood floors, every kind of flooring you could think about, I've installed. Carpet. So that's how I know all of this stuff. And I've learned from the guy, and the guy I actually worked for, he was doing flooring with his dad since he was a teenager, is the funny thing. So he was doing the flooring for years and years and years, and then his father passed and he inherited the business. Him and his brother inherited the business. And I used to work for both of them. The main guy I worked for, and his brother would call me all the time. Sometimes they would fight over me coming to work for them because I was probably one of their best workers at that time. But that's what I did. I worked doing that for years. And then I slowly started buying all my own tools. And then doing my own, working for other people here and there. Other contractors and stuff from doing roofing. I've done that on and off. I get my own jobs doing that now. So I just always wanted to learn all different kinds of things. And I've always worked with professional people that did this kind of stuff. So that's how I know how to do all of this stuff. That's how I know how to paint. That's how I know how to compound. That's how I know how to do these plumbing things. That's how I know about electric and how to look for stuff like I'm looking at now with the doors and all that stuff. How I know about stuff like this. I was showing you guys where the floor is all buckled and how to fix it. I've worked for the framer I worked with a framer that actually built houses for, I don't know, maybe a year I worked for him. Yeah, I think it was about a year I worked for a framing guy. And I think I was probably, I don't know, 24 or 26 back then. And I used to frame houses, so I learned all that stuff. And then I would learn stuff from the plumbers and electricians that came in while we were framing. And I learned about where they got to run their wires and piping and all that stuff. And they got to put the metal plates in the walls when they drill out their holes through the studs in the wall and the framing of the wall. They got to put these metal, that only came out years ago from people drilling into walls. Because you have these guys that don't know any better, and they think you can drill a hole anywhere in the wall. And a lot of guys are getting killed drilling into stuff like this. Because this electricity, and a lot of houses, electricity runs lighting and stuff like that. It runs from the downstairs, usually up through the ceilings. Like here you have it. This is actually something I don't like. Now here we are in the bathroom. Where do these morons who built this place put the freaking breaker boxes to these apartments? With moisture, hot steam from the shower. Like, where did they put their breaker boxes? In the back. Why would you put a breaker box? I don't know how I really don't understand how this passed code. I don't know how they did it. I really don't. If somebody was building up condos or anything like this right now, and an inspector came in here, I think, well, I don't know, something happened. You guys know how that is. Somebody got paid some hush money or something like that to do something like that. Because that breaker box should not be in this bathroom. Okay? Now here you have a closet. Here you have a little storage closet with your water heater. All the water heaters are in here, in these condos here. So you got a light here. And here's this is what's crazy about this. You know? Here's your breaker box right here. on this wall. Why wouldn't they have put that in here? Why wouldn't they have put the breaker box here in the utility room? You know what I mean? Why on this? Why in the bathroom? There. So you know what happens in this place a lot is all the moisture gets in these breakers. Like I said, my sister has an apartment over here. She rents one of these condos, and she had to have, the guy had to pay for it. I didn't do it, but he had a, and why is there a freaking, what the hell is this? Holy shit. Jesus, they had a magnet on here. Somebody stuck, why did they stick a magnet? Look at that magnet. That magnet's so strong, I'm pulling with all my might. This is a nice little magnet, Jesus. Can't even get it off. It's got 3 little magnets on. Why did they put that on there? I don't understand. Because this thing locks fine. But again, as I'm saying, don't do that. Don't do that. Builders, guys, don't do that. That's stupid. A friggin' breaker box in the freaking bathroom with all the hot steaming water. And yeah, there's a vent fan in here and it works. You know, as you can see, the vent fan works. So I don't know, I guess whoever inspected this must have knew the builder or whatever, and they got away with doing that, because I'm telling you right now, every state I've worked in, place I've worked in, if any company try to do that with an inspector there, they make you take that out of there. You don't put an electric freaking panel box in a bathroom with everybody taking hots. You got 2 bedrooms here, so you figure you got a couple in here. You might have a couple of kids in one of these bedrooms here. You know what I mean? That's 4 people taking showers, hot steaming showers every day. Whatever, hot baths. You know what I mean? Washing their hands, using all the moisture. Where do you think all that steam and moisture is going? Right into that panel box. Like, that's insane to have a breaker box in a bathroom. But like I said, I'm only here doing my job. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing all the floors and the painting in here. I have nothing to do with panel boxes. I mean, I told the landlord about that, but he's not gonna. You know how much money he would have to pay E1 electrician to come in here and move all of those from here, even though it's not far, even from here into this closet, which is literally like this. Makes no sense to me. You're literally about 8 to 10 feet away from here to there. And obviously you couldn't put the piano box. You can't put the piano box on this wall because the tub is right here. So you have water behind there from the tub. But you could actually put the breaker box right here, because on the other side of this wall is actually the it's either it's the living room. It's the living room of the other apartment next door is behind that wall. And then there's a staircase behind this wall right here. There's a staircase that goes to the apartment above this. And they're all the same. Every single apartment in here. If you walk in here, the layouts are all exactly the same. There's very little different. Some of them don't have this closet. This is the end apartment of the condo. So this one's a little bit different. They put a closet under the stairs in this one. This one's actually a little bit bigger than the other one. Tiny, tiny bit, not by much. But basically all the kitchens, they all look the same. They're all the same layout, except some of them are on the left-hand side when you walk in the kitchen. Some face towards the left. My sister's condo over here looks exactly like this one, except, yeah, it does. Except she's got a window here over her sink. She has a window. That's how cheap they got That's how cheap they got towards the end of building this, I bet you. Because all the other apartments on the other side and condos on the other side have windows over their sinks. This whole side of the building, none of these tenants have windows on I don't know if upstairs does. No, they don't. Actually, they don't. They didn't put no windows in here. I guess the guy wanted to save a couple $1,000. Who knows? Maybe he got fined for the box and couldn't put, had to pay his fine for that and didn't put windows in. That's how it goes. And then the breaker box got left anyway. That's crazy. Even this little closet, like here we go, right here. You got another little closet right here. They could have put the breaker box right here on this back wall in this closet. And it would have been fine. That would have been fine right there. That just to me. And that's literally, as you can see, here's the closet. Here's the breaker box. There's that closet. Look at that. If I take my tape measure, that's literally 5 feet away. That's where they should have put this box, in this closet. This closet, and like I said, the other closet is right. The other closet I was just in is right there. There's the tub that I was saying that's on that back wall. If you, as you can see, look, I'm gonna walk out of here. There's the tub. I'm gonna go right over to this side. There's that closet, and there's the back of that tub. Will be right in the corner of that closet. So I don't know, guys. I guess that's just how they did it, like that. And then if you look up here, another crazy thing in all these apartments. This is what you gotta do, guys, when you own properties with 12 apartments in them and tenants in and out all the time, leaking water. Guess what? Everything, like this bathroom, everything is the same thing upstairs. Their bathroom is in the same spot. So there's their tub. Look at this. Here's your toilet. There's your toilet every time it leaks down through this friggin' ceiling. As you can see how many times they, look at all the patchwork in here. There's patchwork everywhere in this. Look at the ceiling, the patchwork in here. That's from everything leaking upstairs down here. I mean, what could you do when you're a landlord, you own 10 units and a condominium and people don't pay rent and they destroy your apartment. Imagine that. So, I mean, for this guy to do what he's doing now, putting these nice ceramic tiles in there, he's putting this nice cabinet in here. I wouldn't. This is my place. I wouldn't. I would just, if this is my rental property, I'd put a $100 cabinet in here, a $100 toilet in here. I would have put friggin' tiles that cost 80 cents a square, which these were only $1 a square. I think he said he got these for, and that's because they're a little bit off. I mean, I got them down pretty good, pretty level. They weren't too bad. But all right, I'm gonna end my video and upload it, and I'll show you guys later on when I tear all this mess out of here, all these carpets, and start doing this floor. This is what I'm gonna do next. This whole living room here, this whole living room, this little hallway spot, right into that room, right into that bedroom, and I showed you guys the closets already. And I don't think I'm gonna put flooring in this closet here. He's not gonna spend another $30, $40 a box to do that. Plus there's a water heater here. We're not taking the water heater out. Nope. And I'll probably run some flooring, of course. This little closet. And this is it. Look at this door, guys. Let me open this up. This is what they do. This is what tenants do. This door is not bad. I just have to put bigger screws in there to hold it together. It's not damaged. I mean, it still closes. It's hanging on by one hinge. It's about to fall off the top hinge. But I could take a little sandpaper and maybe clean that door up for him, which he don't even care about that. If it was me, I'd just paint all these doors white. I'd get some primer. As a matter of fact, I got some primer. because I had to do the ceiling in there. But I prime this door, seal it, the outside of it, and just paint it white. But I don't know. He doesn't want to spend all crazy kinds of money. Like I said, he has to repair this door. This he bought, and he bought this like this. This guy only bought this place probably 3 years ago. Yeah, about 3 years ago he bought this place. So that's what happens when you guys buy property. Have somebody like me go in there, pay him $100, pay him $200. You know what I mean? I go look at places. Some people pay me like $50, $50 to $100 just to go with them, and I walk around the buildings, even though they have inspectors. You know what I mean? You have inspectors that go inspect all the properties. The inspectors don't care really. They make a couple $100 here in this state. They make $250, $300 for an inspection when somebody's buying a property, but they just say, "Oh yeah, that's good. That's okay. That's okay. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the rusted. Oh, that's okay. Don't worry about the breaker box steaming up in the bathroom. That's okay. You should buy this property." They don't care unless it's somebody you know that's gonna really tell you, "Don't buy this property." Because if it was me, I would have told the guy, "Don't buy." If I was friends with this guy, you know what I mean? I just met him, like I said, because he's my sister's landlord. And when I come visit my sister, he sees me he used to see me all the time, pull up in my truck with all my tools and ladders and stuff like that. And he would say, "Hey, could you do this for me? What do you do for work?" He started asking me, "What do you do? What do you do for work? Do you do construction and stuff like that?" Every time I see you, you got different stuff in your truck. And I told him I do everything. So I fixed, actually, I'll show you another thing I did. I did this too for him. I did this last spring. See the steers here? See those steer treads? Whoa, I almost slipped in the snow guy. See, I put on those steer treads. I put on new, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, hold it back. Put new posts, reinforce this. See, reinforce that, and I put all. Now he wants me to do railings too. I reinforced all the railings up there. Where is it? That wood that's all around here. You can probably see it on the video. But new posts and all the corners, all the railings up there. So I'm gonna do those stairs. Because as you can see, those aren't too healthy over there. And I don't know what he's gonna do with these little ports. That's another thing. Look how cheap they were. They didn't even put a 4x4 post here. So that'll be another job for me when the weather clears up this spring. I'll do all them stairs over on the other side like I did these, and then later on, I mean the little porches off the first floor ain't bad, but the stairs were those stairs I just showed you, those friggin' stairs were collapsing. All the freaking stair brackets were all rusted and rotted out, and somebody could have fell and he would have got a lawsuit. So alright, but now I'm gonna end my video because I'm an hour into my video and I don't want this to go into 3 videos. But I'll make another video, like I said, once I get this threshold piece in here, which I'm probably gonna do today. But after this floor is all grouted and done, and I put all the whole bathroom together, I'll make my next video of starting these floors and coming out into here and doing these floors and kind of fixing this hump in the floor a little bit that's here. And that'll be it. Like, subscribe, and you know, if you want to learn how to do the stuff not like these guys are telling you on YouTube, some of the guys showing you stuff aren't doing it the right way. I'm gonna show you how to do it that it's gonna last, that I've done before 15 years, like I said, 15, 20 years ago. The stuff I I've done in houses, it still looks like that day I did it. So I'm showing you, and you can see all my tools here. Sawzalls. I got all kinds of drills. Here's a rigid drill I used with the handle on it. That's what I used. That's what I used to mix up my mortar here. Oh, before I forget, I gotta rinse this. That's what I used to mix up my mortar in this bucket here. And you could see, I showed you guys in my last video. I got a whole bunch of my tools in here. My rigid circular saw. All my bags and bags of bits. This bag is filled to the top of Milwaukee. And you'll see, if you watch my videos, you'll see my bit reviews. As you can see, I got DeWalt ones here. I got the DeWalt Extreme drills here. There's my DeWalt impact driver. Oh, here's my, I was showing this in my last video, but I didn't take it out of the bag. But there you go, guys. Cheap, $30, actually $25. But if you go buy this brand new in the store, it's like 40 bucks, 35, 40 bucks for this Black & Decker. I think they sell this at Lowe's. I don't know. Somebody sold me this 5 or 6 years ago. I bought that Black & Decker jigsaw. It's been going strong 5 or 6 years. You know, I don't need a 200. I barely use that. I actually use that. Oh, well, you can't see it now because it's covered. I use that to cut my hole in the tile board. But as you can see, I cut it perfectly. Actually, you probably could see. You could probably see in there where my pinky is. I cut a nice perfect hole with that. Measure from the wall to the edge of your flange there. Measure from the tub to your edge of your flange there. Mark your 2 pencil marks. Make a half, a quarter of a circle. Lay something round, the same size as that opening on your tile board. Follow it along. Make a circle. Make a circle. Drill a hole. Take your jigsaw and cut your circle out. And your toilet flange will pop right down into the. It'll land right where it's supposed to go. That's the way to do that. I could have recorded that in the video, but I didn't. All right, I keep rambling on here, but I'm gonna come back in here. As a matter of fact, now I said I'm gonna start painting. Now what I was talking about the other day. See, that was a compound. This was a compound